Hi guys, good morning. How are you all doing today? I hope you had a good weekend. I'm clearing the space with some sweet grass today. Hope you all had a good weekend and that you did something fun or productive or you got something cleaned out. Did any of you do any spring cleaning? Did any of you clean out something that you've been putting off? Did any of you clean out people around you that maybe needed to go? What did I do? Did I do some I know, I trimmed my bushes. I trimmed the bushes outside, and I don't think I did any. Oh, I did clean my stovetop, like underneath and all around and all the parts of the stovetop. So I guess that's kind of something I don't normally do, that I just kind of did all of a sudden on the spur of the moment. So I guess I did a little cleaning. So this morning my allergies are kicking, so it should be interesting. The decks we're going to use today are, sorry, I got to turn the fan on. Again, The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. This is also one of my very favorite decks. And on the inside it says, "You are the dreamer of your dream." The crystal we have on top of that one, this sits on there all the time, is the purple labradorite. It's kind of hard to see the flash in this one, but you see a little purple there shining on it. I'm not sure if this side's better. Hard with the window, and there we go. You can see it up there on the top up here. And then the crystal that we have on top of the Believe in Your Own Magic. Oh, I didn't even show you this. The deck we're using is called Believe in Your Own Magic. And I have this quartz on it. And this is what the deck box looks like. This is the book, but the box looks exactly the same. It's by Amanda Lovelace and the artwork by Janina Medeiros. And if you've forgotten, this is what The Universe Has Your Back cards look like. I don't know if I ever showed these to you or not. And then the Believe in Your Own Magic deck has this crown on the front, and then it has this kind of artwork on it. All right. I'm going to do the Believe in Your Own Magic deck first, I think, today. So let's give her a shuffle. I haven't used this deck a ton. So it's funny because I don't know if the powers that be picked these decks or like my higher self picked these decks, because I was looking at this deck. I had pulled it out for some reason and opened the box, and the cards all came falling out, and I remembered again how cute they are. And so it's funny that this is the one that I was prompted to use today. I don't know if that's because my higher self knew I kind of was interested in looking at these cards, but yeah, so here we are. Believing in our own magic. I guess that's a great way to start off the week. So let's see what we get. Whoa, those cards are just flipping over like crazy. I hope you guys saw that. So first one was number 38, Villain. You can always rewrite the story. And this is interesting because there's a moon, there's music, there's the ocean, there's this little shell, and it looks like she's going to crush the shell with the stone. How terrible. That is very villainous and highly upsetting. I don't love that. You can always rewrite the story. And yes, let's not go through with that. We had, oh my gosh, and this does have a book. So we had three more come out. So hopefully this isn't super, super long, but I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. So we have number 38, which adds up to 11. We have number 13, which is lioness. You've earned all your stripes. And she's also sitting by the ocean. But I love this depiction because she's not a perfect, quote, perfect body type or, you know, model body type, I should say. She's a normal girl, and I love that. So next we have number 36, which adds up to 9. And it's gold. You don't need someone else to fix you. Girl, you can fix yourself. You don't need someone to fix you. You have all the power. I'll be interested to see what the book says. I don't remember how this book reads at all. So, and then we have number 33, which I love that number. And it's nostalgia. Focus on the here and now. Stop living in the past is what that sounds like to me. This is an interesting picture. So we have a mermaid and Saturn and shooting stars, and she's thinking about this stuff. You see she has shells on her shirt, like she was a mermaid or she wants to be a mermaid. Maybe she was a mermaid in a past life, if you believe in that. I'll be interested to see what the book says about that. There's also something else in this picture that I can't quite make out. I don't know if it's like, you see right here, I don't know if that's like a rocket ship or what that is. But number 33, which adds up to 6. So 11, 4, 9, and 6, or 38, 13, 36, and 33. Now let's go ahead and pull some cards from The Universe Has Your Back. And you know, for those of you out there who, I imagine that most people who listen to these kinds of readings believe in the universal powers or source energy and that kind of stuff, but that doesn't mean that people who believe in God, whatever God, or Jesus, or things like that can't find value in these cards, because they're not speaking against anything like that. They're just encouraging you to trust your maker. And I think that's a common theme in a lot of religions, is to let it go. You know, a lot of people will say, give it to God, or, you know, there's lots of different statements for that. So when I say the universe has your back, it could be just as easily God has your back. Jesus has your back. Whomever you believe in as your creator. And if you don't believe in a creator, well, I don't know what to say about that. That's a dangerous place to live, in my opinion. But, you know, everybody's welcome to believe what they want. But if you don't believe in a creator, then I don't imagine you believe in any of this either. So, all right, let's see what we get. I like to look and see if you guys can see me shuffling, because I know when I watch readings, I love to see the cards flip over. Let's see, that gave us 1. And these don't have a book, so I'll go ahead and pull a few more. This might be a longer reading, and that's okay. I didn't do hardly any last week. I apologize. There was a lot going on around here, and my energy was not great. And I did manage to do one reading, but my heart wasn't really in it. And I hope that whoever listened to it still got something from it. But I noticed I was repeating myself, and I just didn't have the flow. So I decided to take the rest of the week off. And, you know, last week was a hard week for me. I was super emotional. I don't know, maybe if any of you were going through that last week, if you could put that in the comments. I'm curious to see if it was kind of a collective energy thing or if it was just a me thing. I kind of feel like it might have been in the energy, but I don't know. All right, it looks like maybe there's no more cards. I'm going to give it one more. Oh God. Okay, there's a lot more cards. Sorry to yell, but it wasn't giving me any, and then it popped out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So, all right then. And let's see what we got. I'm putting in the work today since I didn't get enough done last week. Wow, I don't even have enough room for all of these. I don't even have enough room for all these cards. All right, one sec. All right. The first card we got is I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. So, you know, most of us, unfortunately, tend not to grow unless we're suffering. It would be nice to learn how to grow through joy instead of discomfort. But generally, as humans, we do tend to grow and find meaning when we are down. That's something I would like to change, like for myself. I'd love to be able to grow and find meaning without being in discomfort, but you know, so be it. The next card we have is through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. And I know that there are many people out there right now praying and meditating and doing everything that they can to bring their energy, to put their energy out. Right now, it's interesting that a card of peace would come out right now, considering everything going on, which I won't get into at all because I don't talk about that kind of stuff. But I think now is a good time for all of us to step it up. Step up our prayers, step up our meditations, step up putting out positive energy into the world. I don't know if you guys have ever heard, like, when a group of people come together and focus on something together, they can actually make a change in it. And it's the same thing as when a church congregation gets together and prays for someone, or a group of any kind gets together and sends up prayers. The amplification of the desire, the amplification of the need, the amplification of the asking the powers that be, who have a lot more control over things than we do, to help, is amplified when many people do it. And there's a theory that if we could raise the vibration of the entire world, the energy of the entire world, the hope, hope is a weird word, but, and maybe I'll talk about that sometime. My friend and I were talking about how hope doesn't really feel like a positive word because it's indicating the lack of something, and it's more of a faith, which is a true belief. But if we could raise the vibrational energy of the world and all of the people in the world could focus on things being better, maybe we could make a change. And in a time like right now, when so many of us feel helpless, like we just have zero power over what's going on in the world, in our country, and even in our lives sometimes, that one thing we can do is be mindful of our own energy, of our own signal that we're putting out, and that we focus on making it as loving and positive as we can. And hopefully that will infect, the people around us. And somehow, some way, if we could just raise the vibration. And that's kind of why when I was feeling dark after being immersed in the It Ends With Us saga for so long and living in that energy of just frustration and anger, that I turned back towards the light and back towards doing my readings, because I knew that if I focus, and make it a daily or almost daily practice to find positive energy and put it out there, that at least I'm doing something. I feel a little bit less helpless when at least I'm here doing my best to raise my energy, doing my best to raise your energy collectively, so that we can all work together. When I went to see music this weekend, my friend's band, Fox and Bones, they've got some really great lyrics to their songs, and they just wrote a new song, and it's about, are we still having fun? Because in a world like we're living in today, even just having fun and finding positivity is a act of rebellion against what's being pushed on us and all the negativity. And so if you want to rebel against what's happening and you don't know how, you can start with yourself, and you can start with your own energy and fighting to find the light, fighting to find joy, fighting to have fun amidst what's going on, finding perspective, finding what you're grateful for. The people that are in charge, that want us to be scared and unhappy, don't want us finding our joy. They don't want us to, because it naturally pulls us out of being scared. And a group of people who are joyful are kind of dangerous compared to a group of people who are scared and afraid to do anything. So if you're wondering how you can do something, at least something small right now, to push against what's going on out there, that you can do that through your energy. If nothing else for now, let's just raise our vibes as an act of defiance. The next card is, my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. We have to have faith that our makers have a plan. For most religions, I think, and even for people who believe in energy in the universe, it's about trusting that there's a higher plan, and that we don't always know what that plan is or how that plan is meant to work. And sometimes it looks really bad. Sometimes the plan is that something really bad happens, and it sucks. As an example of that, I lost my friend Shayna, who I've talked about. She's the one who gave me my name, Vixen. And we lost her, just about 20-ish years ago or so. And my friend Sarah, who was very close to her since, had a couple of children. She got married and had children. And I came to the realization one day, as Sarah was moving away from her husband and that wasn't working out, that I didn't think that Shayna would have liked him. And I truly believe that if she had been around when Sarah started dating him, that she might have heavily, heavily influenced her not to be with him. And if she hadn't been with him, she wouldn't have her girls. And so, sorry. As sad as it is that we lost her, Sarah might not have her beautiful girls. And I don't know if that's true or not, but that dawned on me, and it's just an example of how sometimes the worst things in your world happen, and they set the stage for things later that come along that you can't even fathom might have been affected. if that loss hadn't happened for you. So even as hard and as horrible as it is in the world right now, we have to trust that there's a bigger plan, and just pray that these things are happening to force us into something that we need. And I know that's easy for us to say here, sitting in my home with the things that I need. But I think we're all looking at a little bit more of a difficult future here coming up. But we just don't have any way to know how that's going to shape the future. It might be the catalyst. It might be that it takes us so far down that we finally all stand up. You just never know. So have faith. Have faith that everything is working out the way it's supposed to, even though it might seem hard and scary right now. The next card is happiness is my birthright. And it's true. I was talking about this with my bestie yesterday, one of my besties, yesterday, that it cannot be that our existence here is just for struggle. I just don't believe that we were put on this earth to just grin and bear it until we die. I just don't. I feel like we do deserve happiness, and it's really hard to find it sometimes, but it's where our focus should be, because the little things matter. And even if those are the only things we can find to be happy about, at least that's something, and to hold on to it. Hold on to it. You deserve it. The next card is, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. And just like I've been saying, it's kind of the theme of this reading. It seems that this is a time where we need to amplify the signal of love. We need to. And you can do that by focusing on your inner light, which is brightened by things that make you joyful. And then amplify that signal as hard as you can right now. And on the days when you don't think you can, that's okay. You can honor that too. Try again the next day. I wasn't able to honor my light last week. It was too much for me. But I'm coming in with a bang this week with my 11 cards in this reading. And so, just do your best. Do your best. The last card from the Universe Has Your Back deck is, the moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. God is waiting for you to get out of the way. He's waiting for you to get out of the way. He's waiting for you to trust and have faith, not hope. Not hope. It's not that hope is a bad thing, but hope indicates a lack of trust that the right thing is going to come, and faith is a belief that the right thing is going to come. And we need to focus on faith that everything is working out the way it's supposed to get us where we need to be. And that doesn't mean that the suffering is okay, but sometimes it's hard to see the bigger picture. So find your peace within and radiate it out. Find that peace by trusting. What does it hurt? What does it hurt to let go of fear and to focus on faith and trust? Can't be a bad thing. Can't be a bad thing. We know living in fear is a bad thing. So, that wasn't the last card. I lied. There was one that didn't fit. The last card is actually, my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. Right now is a time to focus on love, peace, faith, positive energy. It's up to us who are sitting in homes where we are comfortable. We have heat, water, food for the most part. Generally, most of us here where we are have what we need to survive, and we need to be the ones who spend the time and the energy focusing on putting out vibrations of peace and love, because the people who are in it, in the middle of these wars, in the middle of these war zones, they don't have the capacity. Maybe they do. Maybe some of them do. But in general, we're the ones who are sitting in a place where we can focus more clearly on raising the vibrations. And it's up to us to do that. All right. Moving on to the Believe in Your Own Magic deck. We have Villain, which is number 38. Luckily, these are short, so this won't be too much longer. Villain. You can always rewrite the story. A hard truth to swallow. Sometimes our villain wins. However, that doesn't mean you should give up or lose all hope. It just means that it's time to rewrite the story and keep going. It can be incredibly freeing and empowering to reclaim yourself after a personal tragedy. Yeah, it can. All right. I don't know what else to say about that. Seems pretty self-evident here. Number 13, the Lioness. You've earned all your stripes. Naturally, sometimes with growth comes a little scarring. You've come incredibly far, and you should be proud of the person you've become. Think of your scars not as a reminder of the pain you've had to endure in the past, but as proof that you can survive anything. Just like I said, we never know when some of the worst things to ever happen to us in our lives are the thing that sends us in a different direction towards what we were supposed to be headed towards. And as annoying as that is, I don't want to say that, and I'm not glad, but I don't want to say that my friend passed away in order for my other friend to have her children. That seems crazy, but in some reality, on some level, it's kind of true. It just is. And that doesn't mean that we might not trade to have her back, but I don't know that we would either. It's a really weird and hard thing. But I truly believe that without the passing of my friend, my other friend would not have her kids. I just do. And it's unfortunate that it has to be that way, but it's just a good example of sometimes you just never know what pain you've gone through that will be the catalyst to making you strong in a way that you didn't think you could be. And those scars, are I got cat hair. Those scars are a representation of that. Number 36, Gold. You don't need someone else to fix you. Someone is trying to convince you that you're broken beyond repair. Unless you accept their helping hand, of course. If someone offers to fix some part of you, it's not because they're being selfless or kind. They know that you're in a vulnerable place, and they want to make you entirely dependent on them. Tell them no thank you. You know exactly how to put the gold in your own cracks. Well, I'm not sure who that's for out there or who needed to hear it. But if someone is trying to make you feel like you can't make it without them, or that you are not whole on your own, or that whatever you're struggling with, you are not strong enough to fix or handle on your own. That doesn't sound right to me. Yes, they can be there to help you, but in the end, we're all responsible for ourselves, and we're all in control of ourselves. So if someone's trying to tell you that they can fix you, that's a lie. No one else can fix you. No one else can fix you. Only you can fix you. And maybe if you're in a place where you feel like you need to be fixed, maybe start thinking about some of this other stuff that we've been talking about during this reading, and focusing on your vibrations and working on yourself that way. And you can do this. You can do it. You can do it with support, but you have to be the one. Nostalgia, number 33. Focus on the here and now. You're spending the majority of the time daydreaming, wondering what could have been if only things had gone the way you wanted. By doing this, you aren't giving yourself a fair chance. Truth is, there's nothing you can do to change what happened. No matter how many scenarios you craft in your mind, make improvements to your present, not your imaginary. Wait, let me read that again. Truth is, there's nothing you can do to change what happened, no matter how many scenarios you craft in your mind. Make improvements to your present, not your imaginary. Be sure to nurture what you've been given. So once again, looking back at the way things have already worked out and thinking that it should have been different, although it's really easy to do that. It's really easy to say, if this had just gone this way, everything would be different. If this had just gone this way, everything would be different. And that is true. If whatever it is had gone a different way, things would be different. What you don't know is how they would be different. You might think they would be different in a positive way, but do you really know that? Do you really know that things working out the way they did was a negative thing? Sometimes it feels like a negative thing, but sometimes we, feel that way because in our minds we have a certain time frame and a certain idea about the way things should go, and they don't always go the way we think they should, so we think it's wrong. I know that I have personally had situations in my life where I was certain something that happened to me was just horrible. And then as time went on, in retrospect, and as things played out, it was like, oh, thank goodness that didn't work out the way I thought it was going to, because I didn't know everything about the situation. So be careful of that. Don't live in the past. As messed up as it feels, sometimes everything does happen for a reason. And I hate that statement because it's annoying, because I don't like that, but it's true. So it looks like there's a lot to focus on here. It's a lot to put together, so I don't really know how to combine it all, but we're talking a lot about happiness and focusing on that, having faith, raising your vibrations to put that out to the world. I know a lot of us feel helpless right now, and sending out energy is at least something we can do. So mind your energy today. Focus on the now. Live in the now. I don't know if you guys know that from Wayne's World, and just know that what you focus on is what you're feeding. So I hope that resonates with all of you out there. Again, if you have any specific things that this pings inside of you and you feel the need to share, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And I hope you all have a really great day. Sending love to you all.